Welcome all. Welcome to the special talk that we have for you tonight on the 19th of August. It is COVID-19 vaccine versus gold. Which investment is better in the post-COVID era? Now, a lot of thought when I was doing last week, I was thinking, what are the things that I really want to share with the audience who really coming in and listen? Is this important for you to know? Because right now, the Trade VSA has been the forefront of how we invest, how we teach our investor and also trader to look at different sector. Now, last week, we just finished our masterclass, and the trade that we did on last Wednesday, we took some profit. We made about 18%, very short one, which is a quick a biopharmaceutical, it's already similar play on the COVID-19. So we figure out, that trade that we win, and we find out that, look, there may be some possibility trades on this one from an investing basis. So that's why I want to come to you and really share with you this important topic, because some of you who are from the old school might like to trade gold or invest in gold, which I have. I have a fair bit of gold, right? And of course, some of the questions that you have will also ask me how much you want to do. So we keep those later. Bursa, not much ETF, only glove sector ETF. Bursa got, they don't have much ETF, that's true, but they do have gold ETF, okay? Something that I will talk about, but I'm just going to talk about the story behind gold, and I want to teach you to look at other alternatives. I want to teach you to be smarter. I think that's most important for all, because many of our Malaysians are fairly unskilled, not educated. So this is some of the things that I really want to go out and teach all of you how I look at things. I will tell people, look, just try to get into my head, how I think, how I look at the matters, and once you understand where I see things are, then you know where to go from that. And that's something that I've also shared with one of our members today. We met up, we have a nice cup of coffee, is to get into my head. Over the years of as a researcher, as a system developer, and that's what something I want to really teach you all. All right, let's move on. Okay, now for those of you who are listening for the first time, just type 1, I really appreciate, and join our Telegram chat room. We are almost at 5,500 in here, so use this QR code and we'll be happy to service you. All our information are free, and we are there to help you too. Alright, then don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. Definitely this video tonight that we have done, we will archive it and put it in there as much as it represent an opportunity to learn back the notes. And sometimes you may not have enough screenshot. You can take photo or you can go back to the video. I know many of you will probably have a screenshot because tonight we have a lot of information, a lot of stocks idea, something you want to go back and think about it. But if you're not, you can always go and subscribe to the YouTube. Hello Darren, okay, YouTube, and make sure you get it in there, those two. Thanks David. All right, so we got fair good. All right, so also, don't forget to download a copy of SmartRobie, which is the basis, some of the things that we talk about. It's like a pocket Bloomberg. Very easy, very to use, and do share with other people. And I covered it very extensively on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in our breakfast show, Money Talk with SmartRobie. And remember, we picked what stock on Monday? VS, right? And Wegman last week. I think VS went up today, isn't it? I think it went up 11%, 12%. Check out episode 41. Okay, yep. Today I did 42. This morning I did 42. Episode 41 was Monday. Some of the older episode is also on our YouTube. If not, you can always go to Facebook. Using that premium alert, you already can make money. So share with your friends, and you can get 200 credit and you can use it for your own purpose. All right. Okay. Meanwhile, that's right. Now we started to go to the meanwhile. We always want to give you a bit of basis before we get down to it. Now we have seen the KLCI Bursa has really gone through a roller coaster. You have the rubber glove maker coming down as soon as Russian, right? The COVID vaccine maker came out and said that, look, they have the vaccine and going to send it to Brazil, they're going to send it to Saudi Arabia, they're going to send it to Philippines, and they're going to send it to Malaysia. And guess what? That's where all the rubber glove runtuh, right? Not durian runtuh, but rubber glove price runtuh. But at the same time, there was one news came out by Macquarie which says, look, like it or not, this is an opportunity to buy. Well, how do you think? Do you think this is an opportunity to buy rubber glove now? Because based on this news, they said that Malaysian rubber glove shortage continued to support earnings. So that's why we saw the market rebounded. Hatta went up. I think Top Glove also went back up today, up 4% in the, today, the day before, almost 20%. And then if you limit up for Care Plus, Comfort, and rubber glove. Do you think this is a good time to get back into a rubber glove? Okay. This was a question why Malaysia didn't fix the date or flexibility lah. They don't fix the date. But again, in SmartRobie we have those dates. So Scott Thomas, look at the trading plan. The quarterly report dates are all there, so that will help you a bit. Malaysia not perfect, but SmartRobie will make it easier for you. So within the same story, also Top Gloves has approved the board of directors as well the shareholders, major shareholder has approved 2-to-1 bonus issue. But the thing that is a talk of the town during this coming budget, which is supposed to be in October or end of September, will be the windfall tax. In my opinion, I think this is purely speculative, because also Top Glove plus the Association of Rubber Glove Maker was not consulted. We are still a country of consultation. At the end, consultation, everything, right? So this is where we are as we stand. Okay, now definitely last week we did have our GDP announcement. I think many of you has been following me a while. I already explained the minus 17.1 GDP contraction. No problem, because why? If you look back, what we have here, let me just bring up the laser pointer. You can see it nicely here. Okay. Right, this laser pointer here, you can see the gross export has grown during the April and May. Turun sikit tapi naik balik. You see, we have export very important. As a country of nation, we need to export. Else we got money. Correct. When we got money, we go on credit card spending. See 6.5 to 10.7. And then manufacturing, all of you, some of you who are working in the factory. If those of you are working in the factory, do type it in there, factory there. At least I know this is where your PMI figures purchasing manufacturing index is important. And also electricity. I think that time electricity were using less. Actually, not really, Sometimes more people at home, they switch on the aircon whole day if they're working. I know some of you are not, some are just keeping fan. But I do believe, going forward, the electricity will be more. So again, going back to the contraction, minus 17.1 in GDP 2020, but the Bank Negara official, really expecting a V-shaped recovery next year. That is why our KLSE now ready to go higher. This is one implication. So this is what we always talk about, the great disconnect. Some people say, hey, we have this minus 17.1%, which I always talk about down, especially those of you who are coming for the first time. Why is our stock market going higher? So let me clarify with you. This is the reason why we see stock market go higher, go faster, because they are a runner, whereas the economy, the GDP growth that you see are a lagger. So if you look back to here, you can see this thing. Finally, the result came out June. We are in month of August, right? Coming to early September. Semua sudah jalan tadi. You see? So that is why we always tell people, learn to read the chart, because chart, price, and volume is the what we call lagging or leading indicator. What do you think? Type it in there if you think leading or lagging indicator. All right. So how do you like it so far? Is my speed okay? If my speed is okay, just type 2. All right, just type 2 if my speed is okay, so I'm not too fast, while waiting for some of you to continue to come in too. All right, type in, and please do share in your timeline. We really appreciate that one. It is all right, good. Okay. Okay, let's wait for. Okay, this is what I've talked about in here. Okay, good. The speed is okay. All right, and that's how we see the market continue to grow. Now, let's move on to another next point, which determine if our market can break the old high at 1618, which is we talk about the net foreign buying in the local Bursa. All right. Now, like it or not, the Bursa has received net inflow, but the report also talk about Malaysia has the second highest foreign net outflow of 19.7 billion after Thailand. But what's more important is this slide. This is the one that we always have on our trade VSA package system. And you'll notice, let me just bring out the pen here. Okay, here we always have averaged out net outflow, which I show you every week, okay, of minus 150 million. Okay, but you can see here the averaging is getting less. But what is good about here is finally we see this. We got foreign fund positive inflow. Okay, net inflow. So this one you can get it from our Trade VSA package. So as such, you can see only yesterday it is down. So are we seeing more buying in? What do you think? Do you think foreign funds are coming in or not? If you are, type FF. All right, just type it FF. If you think the foreign funds are coming in here and they're getting more, just type FF. Will you do that? Then we'll see this one in here. Because later on, I also want to ask your opinion. Which do you like? All right, just type it FF and we go forward. So this is an important announcement in here because it simply tells that the foreign funds are coming back in here, shown by this green positive in there. A good information when those of you who are looking into market or haven't understand this is what you want to be looking at. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide in here. Now also at the same time, Trade VSA, we have our green pentagon, which is a patent pending here that you see. Let me just bring out the laser pointer here. All right, this is a patent pending and you have all the buy and sell signal. So we will write as soon as the red pentagon came out, that was sometime in the early August. We could see the market was going nowhere, but it's fairly well supported at 1560. Now the great point now, the market today just closed minus 2 points, 2.47, 19th of August, 1575, but the 1618, that's the level that it needs to break up. You can see 1575 in here, and like not, ladies and gentlemen, just use a SmartRobie when the green pentagon comes back somewhere around here. I hope not too soon. If Dow Jones break up. Now, how many think Dow Jones is going to break up higher, right? Type Dow higher. Type Dow up. Okay? Just type Dow higher or Dow up. Then we will know Dow is definitely going to go higher. Because if Dow is going to go higher, which is technology inbound, that will also influence our KLCI in some way. And don't forget, the foreign funds are coming. So our KLCI will likely to hit the 1618, which is generally we are in a new bull, all right, which is we are only slightly less than 3% from the old high in 1680. All right, so let me good, all right. So that's how I see the market, and I hope at one point in not too distant future, in the coming weeks, where our market break through the 1618 again, you will hear it first right now. So right now we are somewhere in between 25 plus 18 point, which is about 40 over points. We will reach up here. 40 over points will reach up here from here. But this upthrust is a good upthrust because on Friday, if we have the takeout of the upthrust, that's all going to base on tonight and Thursday night. So let's see what we can do. Again, Friday, follow me on the breakfast show. If not, you can catch it on the video recording, and I will also comment a bit about the market. So as we can see the market where we are right now, though that give you a full way. Then someone say, when are we going to talk about COVID-19 vaccine? So here we are, okay? So COVID-19 vaccine, what are the things you should watch for? How big is the market share? And why is Warren Buffett buying gold now? Now we can see this is a Bill Gates. He's a big proponent of support of COVID-19 vaccine. Of course, they will also talk about the conspiracy theory against him, and he's sponsoring 3 big pharma pandemic in this pandemic fight. I will name those 3 big pharma, which is actually based in US. I'm going to talk a bit also on the KLCI. But at the same time, you have Warren Buffett, which talk about he selling all his stock and buying gold. And you want to know why? Watch on. We have a good presentation follow the next couple of slides. All right, let's look at why the big pharma is going to have bigger money. Now the top pharmaceutical name that you see on the left hand side is no other than Johnson & Johnson, right? Now how many of you have heard of this company? If you have heard of any of those Johnson & Johnson, just type those companies. J&J, Pfizer. Remember Pfizer is famous for what? The blue pill kan? All the uncle you remember blue pill or not? Don't be shy, the blue pill, the blue triangle one. How come I know so much? The blue triangle, Pfizer. Now if you know some of these companies, just type in there. Merck, AstraZeneca, okay, AstraZeneca, Sanofi in France, Gillette, they came up with the Remdesivir, okay. Then you have the Bayer, the Novartis, and the GSK. GSK make Panadol one, I remember. GSK, okay. So some of the names that you all know, just type it in there, and then we'll just be interested. So why is this so so big. Now, this is the pre-COVID crisis. You can see pre-COVID, they already estimated the sale of vaccine is 27.7 billion. Okay, so 2020 so it's just a yearly growth of 7%. 7% is fairly organic. Now, why I say this? If you look at the COVID-19, what has caused on the rubber, right? The rubber are growing somewhere between 12 to 15%. Some even growing at 30% depending which country you're going. So this is almost double what you see, the 7.1% for the vaccine. So it is the number 4 biggest in terms of pharmaceutical, and they are big. Of course, the first one, number 1 is cancer. Like, you know, everybody get cancer, stomach cancer, because all the salty food, all the nasi lemak, the sugar, remember, all the flour causes cancer in here. So that is really growing. You can see that, right? The anti-diabetic, also sugar, anti-rheumatic, this one is arthritis, all those autoimmune diseases, antiviral, right? This is the virus one. So you can see it is, but this round in the post-COVID, you see the big jump in this. Now, why this is important? Because I need to give you a bit of background behind why this company that many of you talk, the pharma and dual pharma, the GSK, is important in here. Now, if you look back, the big pharma really dominates the COVID-19 vaccine development in here. Now, earlier on, I talked about, which is, if you look back, previously is around 44.6, right? Just by 2-3 more years, that will grow to 64.5 billion, which represent a 74% growth. Right? If you average it out, we are talking away something between 10 to 12%, which is more than the 7%. Again, that is why, just like the rubber sector, right, that has grown, and you see that big number, you've seen the big pharma will experience this one. But don't forget, the thing that good about the rubber glove, it is only located in Malaysia, right? You got the big 4, right? Kosan, Hatalega, and Supermax, and Top Glove, okay? But the big pharma are shared by what country in here? You can see the GSK in UK, the Merck in US, the Pfizer in US, and the Sanofi in France, and then the others are all here. So it's quite spread out. So which means the eggs is moved all the way. But in Malaysia, rubber glove, we are number 1. Other than the other one will be Thailand and a little bit in also in China for that one. So that's why you see the big growth, because it is very located space. But for the COVID-19, a big few pharma name as them. Do what they say this makes sense? If this one really makes sense, just type in 5, okay? Because this tells you why the difference. I'm just trying to share with you the difference between what we see in the rubber sector compared to the vaccine sector. Vaccine is quite spread out all over the world, and also in Germany. Don't forget we have France, Germany, but for the rubber glove, it is better. So just type 5. You understand what I'm talking about in here. All right. Okay, good. So you can see, because I'm trying to make this as easy as possible so you can also understand the big pharma name in here. All right. So again, first thing first, this is from Tony Fauci, which is one of the coronavirus team, which is headed by Donald Trump. But since then, he kicked him out already, okay? Because he told people to wear a mask, social distancing, and follow CDC guidelines, right? Isn't it? So nobody ever followed that. So first thing first, now he said about there will be a dosage of vaccine for everyone by end of 2021. Not 2020, 2021, which means come this year, end 2020, those who have money, those who's willing to pay will only get it. And the number of dosage, is 7 billion. Of course, we have about 8 to 9 billion give and take. So he's optimistic that there will be a vaccine by end 2021. So first thing first, this is fact. Number 2, Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson modeled almost 20 billion of the worldwide revenue for COVID-19 vaccine in 2021. So that time frame, we talk about 64 billion, which is in 2027. So 20 billion already supported by J&J and Pfizer. That tells you this one of these 2 stocks you need to take notice of. Then we talk about the vaccine development. Now, vaccine development, like it or not, it usually takes 10 to 15 years. And so far, the fastest record that they have, workable vaccine, is 4 years. It's 4 years, that's right. Now, this thing came in only last year. We are almost right now 6 or 7 months into it. And they want to make it to 1 year. So that's why a lot of doctors are saying, look, they possibly next year, right? Because usually it takes 4 years. If they can get one vaccine out, it's going to be world record. All right, so these are the facts. It's important that you all know this. So when you talk about any vaccine, at least you hear it from us, you hear it from Trade VSA, and this is something that will help and go your first thing. So next thing is most investors will lose money if you just simply kajar. If you chase a vaccine candidate blindly, like what we see in KL, the duo pharma and the pharma Niaga, as soon as they announce, boom, the thing fly already, right? So that is where you need to use the brain. Okay, later you use the trade setup, what we talk about using the hands, then you go in. This is where the 9:30 session, my senior trainer Zac usually teach you how to look at the chart, as well as Arif will look at the also the trend of it. So these are the 4 important things that you should know of. So make sure you capture a photo or snapshot of it, because you're going to refer back to this also too. So the first thing first, the 4 important factors, right? Many investors will lose money. All right. So next thing, we want to see what is driving the COVID-19 vaccine development in here. Right now, this is as of 19th of August, which I just pluck it out from the Google World Database. There is confirmed 22 million people out there, right? So don't forget, 7 billion overall dosage, 22 million people kena. But the rest of the billion of people who is not infected yet, they all need a vaccine, especially those of you who are in the senior age, recover about 14 million, but this will be the on the record one of the highest deaths that we have seen, although it didn't surpass the Spanish flu back in 1908. But you can see United States, Brazil, India, China, and South Africa, these are the leading cases. US got money, India don't have money, Brazil don't have money, Russia maybe they have money, South Africa also don't have money. So where are they going to get the vaccine to pay for it? If you look at it, the number of confirmed cases, those are Russia is going to hit 1 million soon, India 2.7, 3.4, 5.5. So these are all the big boys in there. And what's more important is the virus, like it or not, is not going to go away. Is this true or not, right? You heard about this new infectious disease called D614G COVID-19. How many of you think COVID-19 will go away by middle of next year? If you think you'll go away by middle of next year, type H2 or 2H 2021. Just type it in there, 2H 2021, or won't go away at all. So we can't go for our holiday, all right? How many of you just type, if you think it will go away by second half of next year, just type 2H21, mean second half 21. Just type in 2H21, then I would know. If you not tell me when you think will be, is it 2022? I would like to know what you all think. All right, just type it in there, because this is important when it comes to how long you want to hold your investment, how long you want to buy that COVID, because we're talking about a period where the market will take to digest it, distribution of the vaccine, which is important, and also making payment. Because if you have this 2 years that COVID-19 is going to good, this COVID-19 vaccine counter will definitely be helped. Okay, good, because some people saying that second half 2021, okay, end of 2021, true, okay, that's true too, all right, and 2022, right? Because this is important to form your opinion going forward if this is suitable for you. Because I also tell people you need to open up an overseas account, right? You can do it with any of the broker hub, but some of you who want to can always text me. I can recommend you one of our coach who actually specialize in this overseas account opening, a legitimate one based in Malaysia. Then you don't have to worry. But many of you already have a US account. This is something is also good to know. All right, good. 2023, some people say. All right, that's good. So this is not going to go away. Now, let's look at the COVID-19 vaccine status. You can see we have 138 preclinical. This is, people like sort of testing it out. Unfortunately, Malaysia, we are not there yet. We are not there. We only do buy bulk, break it to small bottle, of course, transportation and the cold storage and so on. Depending on what type of vaccine you have, the RNA and also the DNA vaccine. One needs a really cold storage one, and one you can keep it at room temperature in there. All right, so you can see 27 is in phase 1, 70, so the number gets smaller and smaller. 138, so they actually try a lot of combination. This is like, classroom, you have a number of students and you try to get the best of the best. 138 go to 27, 27 go to 17, 17 go to 7, and so far 0. But we all know about Russia, isn't it? Russia has done it, right? And they actually done phase 3 right now on human. They skipped phase 3. They have phase 2, okay, which is the one that you see here, and then they say it's safety because the big boss Putin, President Putin says so, and now they want to send those vaccine to Malaysia. Do you think you want to get a Russian vaccine or not? Right? If you want a Russian vaccine, Yeah, which is quite true. Chuchok vaccine also need glove, that's right. But the question is the perception, very important. So how many of you think don't want a Russian vaccine? If you don't want Russian vaccine, you say no Russian vaccine. Just like no Russian, okay, no Russian, then I would know, right? Because now Russian, when I saw this news, I said, wow, this one, Russia are so generous, what they give us, because they didn't do a phase 3 trial. A phase 3 trial involved 10,000, 15,000 people in US. Moderna doing a phase 3 trial involved 30,000. I'll give you the numbers and the stats later on, a couple of slides later. So in here, they don't have. So they want to use we, Malaysian, as guinea pig. Do you want to be one? If you don't want, just like no Russian, okay? No Russian vaccine. Yeah, imagine you take this shot, they send it to you. So this is where the phase 3 is important. So once you understand the development of the vaccine, then you will know when the final day do come, you know how to read. So this information is very, very informative and helps you a lot. Okay, let's move on to our next slide. Now, the vaccine player status in here, we have about 7. Okay, 7, we have the Moderna and the ticker. So take a snapshot of this one in here. You can skip my face there, no problem in here. Then you have the Pfizer together with the biotech, okay, BioNTech. Then the GSK with the Sanofi, right? You have Johnson & Johnson and Zeneca with University of Oxford. Invio with Novavax. So those are the big names. Again, you have to look at the chart inside there. So these are the stages, what they aim, how many million of dosage manufactured. You can see Moderna, they are going for 1 billion dosage a year. So that's a huge in here. I'll give you some more numbers the next slide. 600 million, hundreds of 21, no goal set yet, 1 million doses. Now the reason why we say this, because first thing first, early on, right, we do, and Dr. Tony Fauci said that the world needs 7 billion. That's how much it needs, 7 billion by end 2021. So you can see the company that can produce the most. Next thing we're going to work on is how much it's going to cost. There is something between $40 per dosage to $10 to $4 to $75. So you do your maths, correct? So you look at it, 7.7 billion. Let's take an average of $10. All right. Then you're talking about, that's a lot, like $10, right? You need 2 dosage for full 1 year vaccination or 9 months vaccination. So if you're going to get 2 years vaccination, then you probably need 4 dosage. So you put in maybe something like $100 US. Okay, $100 US, you times 7 billion. Of course, not many people can afford it. As I said before, you have Brazil, the US can afford it. In Malaysia, I was told that our country, Ministry of Health, will give free vaccine. All right, of course they have to come from where now you know, right? If it come from Pfizer, they're gone to phase 3, that's the one you did. If it come from Russia, it's a no. Okay, so that's important in here. Yeah, some people say did not include Chinese vaccine. I have the next slide. Okay, I will talk about the Chinese vaccine later here. This is just the big names on the West. The Chinese one is the next slide. So if you look at here, this is all the government pharma agreement in here. Very important. You cannot see below there, right? Okay, let me just bring out. You have the Sino Pharma. Okay, never mind. This is a Sino. So this slide basically tells you where you find those stocks. Okay, you have the GSK, the Johnson & Johnson, the Pfizer, right? And you can see US government are really buying up a lot. 95. They're spending close to 1.2 billion, 2 billion. So all in all, you look at it, they're really working on 5 billion, right? Just to get into it. Then you have the EU trying to get hold of it. Then 65 million pounds, 500 million pounds, Japan. So Malaysia is basically taking a trigger. Now, if you look at the 3 player for the Hong Kong, we have the CanSino Bio, the Sinovac. I'm sorry, you can't see that, but you can look at here. CanSino, Sinovac Biotech, and Sinopharma. These are the Chinese one inside here, and you can actually get hold of the stocks from the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, which one is in Shenzhen. I'll give you the codes afterwards so you can look at those. But again, use TradingView as a chart to look at them. Okay, so this is a good one. Our Kampong vaccine is free. No free, don't want. Okay, yeah, that's at 200 billion. That's right. So this is how big the market is. So these are the stocks that we want to look at. Okay, let's move on. The next slide. Now, in terms of the number of dosage which is secured, definitely is US, because Donald Trump wants it before the election, right? And that's why he's really, buying up to 1.5 billion. Now, don't forget, US has 330 million on 2 dosages, so it's about 750 million. You need 2 dosages, most of them, one shot, and then 3 weeks later another shot. So that will give you about 750 million, but they're buying almost 1.5 billion because Donald Trump wants to be seen, the man, I rescued the US people from COVID-19, right? Whereas Chinese only need 0.5 based on the number of infection in there, Japan, Russia, but Malaysia is smaller, Malaysia no money. All right, so Solution MOU with Canada, yeah, that's right. Solution has a MOU with CanSino, okay. That again yet to be seen because all this MOU, CanSino will sign up with anyone they want to. You can just call them up. A lot of people, try to be funny. They want to sign a deal with CanSino or Sino Pharma, right? The stock price will go up, isn't it? You think very carefully. I mean, these guys, the big pharma, they are businessmen, just like rubber glove. Okay, now rubber glove, they won't say no. Just imagine, I'm from Africa. I want to buy some rubber glove. I call up Top Glove, right? I say, hey, I want to buy your rubber glove to distribute in Africa. Can? He said, can, no problem one. But you have to wait. So same thing. So many of the Malaysian company, very smart, Chinaman or Malay man, businessmen, very smart. They just call up and say, oh, can, no problem. Or then they sign MOU. Guess what? They make announcement what happened to the stock price. Jalan, isn't it? Don't get me, don't know yet, right? Because all these company, Sinovac, Sinopharma, and CanSino are all business people too, right? They won't, as long as you can say, give me some sort of a little bit of a down payment, they will do it. But for the local company, if you are struggling, the KLSE, right, you make announcement. That's why you can go up. That's why you see Hoa Gending, right? All the little kuchi one. If Notion VTech go into this, say we sign up, we can sign no, the stock price will be $2 tomorrow, isn't it? Do I say this makes sense or not? If I say this makes sense, you type 6, okay? Type 6, okay? Because I want to give a really perspective why the vendor, going back to the previous slide, you can see here, the Chinese manufacturer as well, the US manufacturer, they do play important thing. Yeah. TT Jaya, that's right. Win-win, that's right. Okay. It's a win-win, okay, because everybody is so excited about it. Now let's look at in terms of the approval of the vaccine process, okay? All right, if you look at this, you have the expiratory, most of them are already here, manufactured. The question is able to manufacture 6 million dosage, 1 billion dosage with good quality control. This is a simplistic way of looking. Now let's look at the next chart, why it takes so long to develop a vaccine, which we call phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So usually this thing take about 10 to 15 years. But you can see Donald Trump, which is running for his election, very interesting character. He said, my election is on 3rd of November. I cannot wait for 10 years, right? So I started up the Operation Warp Speed. So you notice why he purchased up to 1.5 billion dosages, because he need to give to his people, right? So this is why vaccine in normal process, which I talk about first thing first, take 10 to 15 years. The world record is 4 years. Now he want to do it in operational warp speed in 1 year. But I think realistically it will be 2 years. That's why end of 2021. So end of 2021, we almost have 1 year and 4 months to really think about the COVID vaccine, whether we want to buy and hold this kind of period. But don't forget, the goal also have a play, all right? Okay, so let's move on to the next thing I have here is, right, the vaccine development, what we call the squeeze. You can see a normal vaccine development, which take about the academic research all the way to distribution. Takes a fair bit, because you are talking about distributing hundreds, 50 million dosage in a little small bottle. Remember the earlier one, the small bottle, they do the injection. They have to inject, and then also at the same time, this is in US, 50% of people won't take the vaccine. Just like in Malaysia, some people say take vaccine, the children come out all Bodo one. Really? You hear those before, right? They're really anti-vaccine. So the question is vaccination. Vaccine is one thing, vaccination of the nation is another one. So if you look back, the normal vaccination will take about 13 years. They have to squeeze it to 1 or 2 years. So suddenly you can see the very broad project management squeezed to so small, and they have to be ready by August 2021, which so far the Russian done it, right? So the question is, can they able to manufacture approve? So some of these fellas are supposed like the Russian, they're in phase 2 right here, right? They skip phase 3, they skip this one, they skip this one, they go straight to distribution. This is where Putin come in here. So now you know the process of vaccine production, and also vaccination of the nation is also important in here. Okay. Okay, so this is a summary, very important. You can take a look at it. This one in here. So Bill Gates did warn about the world global pandemic earlier, I think in 2019. Everybody didn't take it seriously. But this is the real summary of things which I want to talk about. Pfizer, which is in phase 3, they will get the largest share it can deliver. Japan buying 120 million, 100 million dosage for 1.95 billion, 20 US dollar per dosage. Then you have the J&J. Now remember, J&J and AstraZeneca are non-profit. So to me, that seems to be a good in noble, right? And they are selling somewhere between $10 US dollar per dosage. But J&J is only in phase 1 trial. This is a phase 3 trial. Okay, phase 3 trial in September only. They are still in phase. Let me just make amendment in here. And this is important information. We need to do this. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, this will be in the phase 3 trial only in September. Phase 1, they already done it already. So you have the Sanofi, very slow approach. GSK is a slow approach, and they're also non-profit, as they said before. But the Bill Gates supporting these 3 big pharma. They are Novax, they are J&J, and also next one will be AstraZeneca, because they are one non-profit and they are scalable and also low cost. Okay, so very important is a low cost, and they're offering free vaccine to Australian government too, because they felt that this is more for humanity. But the Chinese fella are the one that charge a lot. Sinopharma is the one that charge the most. We are talking about latest one I found out, they're charging 75 US dollar per dosage, right? Compared to the American 4 US dollar, 10 US dollar and 20 US dollar, depending which one you look at it. The Chinese are charging a lot more. Then when it comes to Malaysia, mark up some more. Right? So you can see the CanSino 6185, Sinovac Biotech 002912. So those are called, make sure you get a snapshot of this. And the 1099, it's a group lab in Wuhan, Beijing, and they're targeting almost 120 million dosage. So this is from my team, basically surveying all the premium news media, and we gathered this purely for you. If you think what this is helpful, give me a thumbs up. What this information that you see, my team actually did a very good work, and they spent a lot of time researching this and bringing it up to you too. All right, so that's also important. You can see why we want to give you this information in there. So make sure you capture this, so at least you know. Or they talk about Pfizer. Oh, what they talk about, Pfizer is stage 3 trial. They have the biggest doses, 20 US dollars inside there. And if they were selling 100, you're talking about 120 million, 100 million for 1.5 billion, you can do your maths and see how big that market is. All right, you think this is good? Keep this one up. All right, let's move on to the next one. So in here, next we have the technical side about the DNA versus the RNA. Okay, for those who like scientific detail, I'm not trained as a biochemist. I'm not trained also as a medical researcher, but I'm more of a general strategist and a thing. But I'll leave this to those of you who are understanding. Now, how many of you who are biochemists can type it in, can at least tell me the difference between DNA and RNA? DNA is a hexagonal helix, they call it, helix, and the RNA is the spiral, ribonucleic acid and deoxyribonucleic acid. But basically, they are different provider. In this case, RNA vaccine are Moderna, and that one is much more difficult to do. The DNA one is by the South Korean one, and then the Chinese one, AstraZeneca, are using the vector viral vaccine. I believe one of those actually use eggs, right? And the different lab condition, different for storage. So those are a few things that you want to look at it, and also easier to manufacture, and they can do millions of dosage. That's important too, right? I'm not going to get down to all those details. For me, is how big the market can be and who is buying and how much. To me, that's really more important. Okay, in here. So let's move on. Now, let's look at the local pharma, all right? Not to forget in here, right? Now, the local pharma, they're not going to be doing any of those phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. They will just, what you do, this is a news from Ministry of Health, KJ, is talking about two names, because these are two government contractors. They make a lot of the pharmaceutical for the hospital, Duo Pharma and Pharmaniaga, which many of you already know. But again, they hasn't confirmed yet, so they are likely to be the front runner in here. No confirmation yet. There could be a few more, but my best guess, oh, sorry about that. My best guess for this is going to be this one in here, all right? It's likely to be out of that. For the Malaysian, I like Duo Pharma, but the chart wise is not so good, and you want to at least have some sort of rating. The rating is 2, because right now if you look at it, this is a slightly older chart in here. You have a ROE of 10% in here. The other one, Pharmaniaga, is losing money in here, you could see, and lots of debt, so that one's not so good. Duo Pharma, which is slightly better lah. The other group, the on the pharma one, are the Chinaman one, the Escota, they make vitamins, you know, make one of those. Then the YSP, the Taiwanese one, and also the Nova, which is quite new. You can see this Chinaman one only got cash, only they operate. But I do believe they are low probability that we will want. The best one will be still Duo Pharma. So that's why those of you who have Duo Pharma, I believe you should still run your profit. Those of you who don't have, look for a strategic entry perhaps on the pullback. So take note of this. You can take a snapshot of this one, which is also important too. All right, Duo Pharma. Okay, COVID-19 is RNA virus. Good. Some of you who are trained as a chemist, perhaps you can share with me some of the information that I have. I will tell you more from a business-wise, that is my expertise and the research, but on the RNA and the DNA and also the viral vector, that's the one really, I maybe have to take a biochemist degree to understand more, okay? But I will do the best as I can. I hope you appreciate. Give me a thumbs up for so far the shares that you have, and hopefully some of those ideas we do here will help you to make money, all right? Let's work on that part, all right? So let's move on. Okay, now let's look at it. What happens? Okay, what happens if the global lockdown to be persist more than 1.5 years? Because why we say that? Look, first thing first, the COVID will be available by end 2021. So we still got another 1.5 years. What's going to happen? That, you know, if it's going to happen, this is done by the visual capitals. They say based on the statistic, they're saying that 68%. Right, if we still have partial or global lockdown. That's why you see a lot of the country, EU and UK and US, right, and also Malaysia, they open up, they cannot lock it down, right? So they're waiting for the vaccine. So it's like a bit of chicken and egg problem. But you see, if you still go through lockdown, like what we see in Philippines, in India, right, they're going to have really prolonged global recession, a lot of bankruptcy, industrial fail to recover. We have seen that the travel, right, since now AirAsia really want to get back to the Singapore and Malaysia route. That's the one that make them a lot of money. Else, they're going to be more debt, isn't it? Right? You know, so many people, they have to retrench, and that's why we have a high employment and also travel restrictions. So these are the one. So on the basis, if you're going to have a partial lockdown and the vaccine, let's say, cannot be available until end 2021. What do you do? So this is where Bill Gates will turn to his friend, Mr. Warren Buffett, which we'll talk about, gold. Now this thing just came out and he's switching out from the banking stock. Now we all know Warren Buffett's style, isn't it? A value investor. But over the years, his funds has failed to perform, and you can see that's why he's switching out from the banking stock to more defensive stock like gold, especially in this global pandemic. It makes a lot of sense. You think of it, the COVID-19 is going to come, but many of them will not pass through the phase 3, and whether they can make enough to send out. But don't forget, Sanofi, GSK and Pfizer, they have experience making vaccine. This is not the first time. It's just that instead of 4 or 5 years or 13 years, they have to make it in one year. So sometimes when you do cooking, you super speed your food. What happened to them? Some of them don't cook well, right? So this is what is going to really happen. 13 years, string it to 1 year. Best record, 4 years, string it to 1 year. So that is why we need to have, maybe if the vaccine doesn't work, look at gold. And that's why Mr. Warren Buffett in here, he didn't say he want to buy vaccine, right? But he said he want to switch out from banking stock to gold. Now let's look at the reason why. Now if you look back on the gold reason, there's many of them. I'll just go through the usual reasons that you see in here. The what we have is the 1990 to 2011, the radical monetary policies. We have the Bretton Woods 1975, where they took the gold standard off, and then you can start printing money. Of course, people say US dollar and most currency are fiat currency, means they just print. Right. Another day we'll talk more about fiat currency. Okay. So in here, this was in May 2020, 1726. We hit 1009. So if you think of it, going forward, if the global pandemic continue and we don't get a vaccine until end 2021, the 7 billion one, right? That is why we're going to have this persistent problem. And my take, I think you will agree with me, gold will continue to go up until end 2021. Do you think what I say this makes sense? If it is, today is still a good time. Wait for that pullback. If not, Warren Buffett is not dung dung lah. He's very smart also lah. Alright. If you think this gold will continue to go up into end 2021, just type gold 2021. Just type gold 2021. Then you will know what I'm talking about. Because these fellas are like Warren Buffett, not smart. Then the question is, what gold instrument am I talking about? Isn't it right? Correct now. Okay. Malaysia printing money too. Yeah, in a way they are printing money. Alright. Right? Because when you print money, there's a debt obligation in there. But Malaysia, we have to hold it about 88% of our GDP of our the loans. There is a statutory requirement from the parliament if they want to print out more in here. Okay, but again, let's go. Now let's look at the reason why Warren Buffett don't buy gold coin, but he buy gold mining company. Now Barrick, the one that he bought. Okay, just take note of it. Barrick, BARICK. Take note of it. Okay, gold 2021. Okay, so gold 2021 is why he buys a lot of mining company. Now if you notice this, while gold are going down, some good gold company, okay, do well. Now this is not Pokong, this is not Tome. Okay, those are gold jewelry, different. That one is pure speculation. This one is the one that dig a big hole in South Africa, dig a big hole. They have one at the Bamwest, right? They have a gold, I think, operation also in Pahang there. You can find, I think, Borneo West. Yeah, check that one out. They have a bit of things inside. They are doing some gold, very small. I don't know how much is it, but last time I read about it in here. So why gold mining? First of all, they have the gold, and when they process the gold, they make some money out of it. So it double up better than gold bullion. So because of that, the volatility also a lot. What happened? They cannot find the gold. So you see the price. So for the conservative one, right, you buy gold bullion, gold coin. For those a bit more one speculative, you go for the gold mining company. What I normally do, I reckon people buy a bit of both. You buy the gold bullion and you buy the gold money, so you get a bit of both. All right. So let's go on to the next one. So if you look at this, this is Warren Buffett in here, and I want to compare to you two stocks. Okay, the gold price and the Barrick gold. You see the blue line. No, let's look at the first number one. Number one, the red line. This is the red line, is the gold. The gold went up 70%. Okay, but Barrick gold also follow one. You will see Barrick gold go up 160%. Like leverage, just like the structure put and call borrow. So you see, this fella, Warren Buffett, also very smart. You see, that's why I choose gold mining company Barrick over gold. Easy money, ma. Right? So now you know, right? I break down the secret for all those millionaire investors why they buy gold mining. Okay, so he has a stake on the gold mining. So they just type Barrick gold. Those of you have the US stock, but there are other golds inside there. So if you have your gold, don't throw it yet. If you think end 2021, okay, all right, we will have some more. That will be great. Yeah, recommend free vaccine. That's right. KJ recommended free vaccine inside there. Borneo all. That's right. Okay, so this is where we are. So we got that straightened out, right? Why gold mining company? Now, how many of you like gold mining company? Type gold mine versus gold coin. Just type it in there so I will know. Gold mining or gold coin? Gold mining or gold coin? Gold coin is the one you just buy the bullion coin or buy the ETF. But gold mining has more, okay? Or you buy both, or you type both. Can you do that? So I'll do know that. Okay? Gold mining or gold coin? Okay, let's move on. I got some more interesting thing for you before we finish. Now also I'll talk about Bitcoin too, which is another alternative investment in here. Okay, gold mining. Oh, a lot of you like gold mining. Gold mining. I like the spec. So if you look at Bitcoin, which I see as another digital gold, so you look at it over the same period and they're all not correlated. Okay, gold coin and gold mining are the same, but Bitcoin and gold are different. Now you look at it, the Bitcoin, where the big move, it went from 2017 to 2018, it went up 4,400% in 1.5 years. Whereas if you look on the right hand side, gold, for 2019 to 2020, it only went up 60%. So that's why some of the people I know. Now, how many of you are into Bitcoin, have bought some Bitcoin? Just type Bitcoin. Just type Bitcoin if you have. At least I know you into Bitcoin. I don't invest in Bitcoin because I partly don't believe in this digital currency, but I do know some people have made money on Bitcoin. If you have, just type Bitcoin inside there, all right? So if you look at it, how the market works, the Bitcoin has higher volatility. It is also a form of store value, which I'm not going to, but the volatility, you know, you talk about Bitcoin can go up 30% one day, but the gold can only go up 2 or 3%. At the end of the day, most important, I think for everyone, I want to teach you guys, especially those of you who eventually will come to some of my workshop, is volatility, and make sure you can sleep well and your heart do well. Okay, you don't want to not sleep well, worry so much, and when you make the money, you cannot enjoy sakit sini, sakit sana, right? I think that's the important. Some of you good, okay? Will this live be delayed? No, it's not delayed. Don't worry, you can come back and watch it. Okay, I know some of you have to go, but I'll finish in 5 more minutes. Okay, I know many of you are busy. 5 more minutes, but the last 5 minutes I'll summarize and give you my take on which counter I like. Okay, so again, gold is always best bought when the market is down. Now, this is a snapshot back in 2013 where the gold went down. You see, the gold went down, fell about 28%, and that was a time where nobody even want to talk about gold. That is the time to be buying. So right now, the gold has its presence because of Warren Buffett and what I talk about the end 2021, because the vaccine is not going to be ready by end 21. So there's a lot of possibility of global recession, global pandemic, all this kind. People like to store into gold, which give a case why end 2021, because the science and the facts don't lie. So if you look back here, there are many reasons, 6 reasons in here, gold value and also money is being printed. You'll hear this before, right? But the best time to really look into gold or gold mining company, that's why it's important to learn how to read the chart. Because we know the brain tells us, look, there is a reason for gold to go higher, but do you want to pay more? Or you want to buy on the gold pullback? So I think some of you who have attended our masterclass will know how to pick some of these gold stocks and buy on the pullback. The reasons are given to you so you know it then. Okay, let's move on to our next one in here. A cheaper alternative, which is the silver market, right? Silver Malay word is called perak, right? Tun perak, okay, the one jalan perak, perak we know, right? Yipo Mari Perak. So this you can see, gold is a much bigger in terms of silver. Silver is very kitty red only. You look at it, 192. We know just now, right? 60 over billion. It's the COVID-19 market. You can look, silver is only 16 billion. So you notice. So, but the market volatility for 10,000 for the 100 US dollar from 1970 to 80, just a 10 year. If you buy silver, you have made 3,000% return compared to 2,000% return. So silver is another cheaper option to cash in on this golden boom. We always say silver is a poor gold cousin. So because rather than buying gold, buy silver, but silver has a lot of volatility. Okay. Okay, so this is good, right? Okay, let's move on. So silver is another way to look at it in here. Now, if you look at gold and silver, the difference is only about 10 to 15%. If you look back, the blue is the silver during the 2019 and 20, where the big move, it actually moved up about 70%. Okay, 70%, whereas gold moved up by 60%. Okay, but the gold mining is the key thing. So now you know what? Gold mine, gold, silver. Silver is just another form of gold because you have the storage value lah. I think you have. So you can have a bit of silver, a bit of gold, as well as a bit of mining company. All right. So work that out, see how much you did, and also remember, don't have too much too. So those of you who want to know more can message me. I'll be happy to help out you out. All right. So let's look at the risk consideration because I want to sum up. I don't want to take too long of your time. We're almost 1 hour here. Risk consideration in the vaccine count. Now remember, I talked about earlier on that assuming the vaccine will be approved by WHO, CDC or any regulator, if you just simply buy, it's not. So it's important that you know too. First, the risk of manufacturing in huge volume. Can the manufacturer do it? So we have seen Pfizer, Merck, J&J are one of the better boys because they can do it in bulk, and they have been doing it. Remember the top 10 pharma name? Remember, you took a snapshot of that one. If not, you can watch the video again. 2, the packaging and distribution of dosages. Some require cold storage, okay? A lot of cold storage transportation in here. Those considerations must be had, because if they are made in US, how are they going to ship it over here? And also, which one of them will pass through phase 3? Now, CDC already guideline, if 50%, already stated, if 50% of those people taking it pass and survive, they will pass it. So they have a very low barrier. Used to be it's 75%. So let's say out of 10 people, 7 to 7.5 people must not get sick of COVID-19, then they pass. Right now, 50% or so they pass it. Because they say one dosage cannot, you whack you another 2 dosage. Cannot, 3rd dosage, 4th dosage. Hopefully don't kill the person. So they're going out because they're quite desperate, isn't it? You and me, we're still stuck here, cannot travel, isn't it? So tapa, hit more dosage. Right? Okay, you all got it? Okay, good. All right. So that's the situation we are in. Okay, so take a look at that one. So all in all, this is the 3 counter that I like, which I'm going to talk about. J&J, but do take note, J&J, I like it because of the chart, right? And Merck is because of the they can do 1 dosage, right? And the chart looks better. And the Hong Kong stock, there are CanSino, which is the popular one. You can look at that one. But Sinopharma 1909, okay, is the one that has broken down. Let's look at the chart for the next one, okay? So all in all, it's not easy to break. Now, this is a chart of those 3 counters that I like. You can snapshot of it. You can see the bottom one that you see here. This is the earnings, which you can get it from TradingView free of charge. So you can see the earnings are growing. Only 1 year where actually it dips here, right? The market fell off, and then when the market come back up, it's always down. So sometimes you have 1 quarterly loss in here. That's actually a good time to buy, and then the market. Because what we're trying to do is to tie to price and volume with the earnings inside. It makes a lot of sense. Now, this is Johnson & Johnson. You can see Johnson & Johnson, right? Just want to draw your attention. It started in 2016. You know, it only made 50% in 5 years, no? Very bad. You look at Malaysia, all the rubber glove, 5 days already 50%, isn't it? So you buy this one, now you know why it's so slow, isn't it? Right? But one thing good about Johnson & Johnson, it's a hedge. You can buy it, you don't expect the kind of volatility, and you get exposed to US market. It is something I tell people, open up a cross-border account. The other one is Merck, which is a slower one. This thing went up, for the same period of time, it went up 56%. If there is a new break, right, the next 1.5 years, we are talking about maybe another 50% run, because we need to know how much it's going to be. And then the next one is Sinopharma. This is listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and you can see here, okay, let me just bring it up, right, 48% to 4 or 5 years, 56% in 4 to 5 years, and a likelihood 100% potential, because right now in Hong Kong dollar is 20. Can it go back to $40? That's what we are talking about. So that is where we want to use the Trade VSA chart to do the timing. Now remember, these are monthly chart. We use the daily chart to go in to see it in here. So for those of you who are listening from the masterclass, switch on to your daily chart and look at those charts and do your timing from there onwards. I like Sinopharma is because the chart fell off so much. There's a lot more upside up from here. Okay, if the chart already run, you can see some of the like Novavax, which is a favorite of Bill Gates. That one already run, and then Moderna, the popular one, already run. So I don't want to look at that one. I look at the second tier where my risks are lower, a little bit of upside. Does it make sense? If you like all these 3, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'm waiting for that one in there while I get a sip of water too. Okay, let's go on. These are the 3 stocks I put in here. Okay, let's go on to our summary. Finally, our summary for today, right in here. Now, the biopharma and pharmaceutical COVID-19 counter are for those of you who has a time frame between 9 to 12 months, which means once the phase 3 comes out, right, the stock must jalan already, okay, as the news of the phase 3 success and distribution. So take note of the non-profit vaccine player like Johnson & Johnson. Number 2, you can invest and trade on different stock exchange using the cross-border account and get the trading view and the charts that you see. Especially if you don't have that one, get trading view. I think many of you who are listening have trading view, so it's free of charge. Number 3, Gold is for those investors looking for a longer time frame. Or one thing you can do is that when you switch out from your COVID, you can switch to your gold. But I do think gold has a better longer time frame. If you think that end 2021, it's a 24 month, which means you have to have a 2-year time frame, and it's form part of your defensive strategy if the COVID-19 will go on to end 2021. Because many of you always say end 2021 that we'll see that. But silver is a cheaper option, and those of you who want more leverage, more volatility, go for the gold mining one. Barrick is definitely one of them. There are many other gold mining stocks out there, and they pretty much work the same thing. Once the gold moves, they will move as well. All right. And last but not least, don't follow the sifu blindly like me. So when I say all these three, don't just buta and buy tomorrow. Okay. Try to understand your skill and your ability, and also your capital as well as risk tolerance. I want to teach you to be smarter. I don't want you to follow blindly. I know many of you just buta. Martin say something he say VS, I go and buy. Oh, I make money. Don't do that, please. Please learn the skill. I want you to learn the skill. If you've been following me and you know my words are truthful, because I want to pass that knowledge to you, so you will have it, and eventually you'll pass it on to your children or your friend. They will benefit. In life, I always believe if you share, you get more. Am I correct now? If you share, you get more. If I think I'm correct, give me another thumbs up, because these are the 4 summary that I want to give to you. All right, so it makes a lot of sense too. Okay, now move on to the next one. So for tomorrow, okay, so you got the. So for tomorrow, we have another talk for our coach Arif. There'll be live FB at 9:30, same time tomorrow night. It's a public holiday, I know, but we still work for you. So 9:30, join my coach Arif as he will talk about momentum trading, maybe finding one of those stocks like gold and when to go in, how you can trade like a top fund manager. Of course, we always believe education is important. What did you do in your COVID-19? At least you listen to me, right? You get to. So these are things that we do. Those who don't know, we do a master class, and we have proven way. Just like we're giving you those 3 stocks. How do you time them? Because what we want to teach you is both the brain, look at different sectors, and then the hands, how to use the tools and able to go in. So this is something we do in our 3-day master class, which we did last week, and we already back this week to teach you more too. All right, so again, we are in the bull market right now, and I think we are coming out. There's a lot of opportunity going in there because of this Biden versus Trump, isn't it, right? I'll see you in the 3rd of November in the US election, and Donald Trump will say, bring it on, baby, bring it on. Okay, so right now the October time frame that we have, the September, and that those of you who came last week, I think this is great, because I'm going to guide you as we go on to the Trump. The US market is definitely going to be very interesting, because you have the Biden and the Trump really bring it on, and you can see that even after tonight, I'm going to go out and watch the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, and Trump is going to come in there, and they will sort of blast each other out. That will be something very interesting, because the market is going to move higher. How many of you think the market is going to move higher? If you think the market is going to move higher, just type another Dow up. Can you do that for me? Dow up. Can you analyze global counter minyak next time? Counter minyak, Ken, we will try to look at the crude oil, but I think crude oil has a bit of upside from here onwards, because market will recovery. Not much, maybe 45, max is $50 in short. All right. So with that, I want to share with you our next masterclass. We are opening for registration, because today we just sort of teach you the brain thing. The masterclass is October 3 to 5th, and also the 7th day we will talk about US strategy, and that's important too, because the US election is coming, and we always believe to be the best. I didn't get to become a Sifu if I didn't practice my art. So we got to also have a winning system in it and get coach. I got a lot of Sifu, Tom, all the fundamental Sifu, all the technical Sifu. Every day I go and buy Sifu. So I like to be that Sifu to you too. Come and join us in our masterclass. If not, you're not ready yet, just follow us on the live FB, completely free, no obligation. You learn. I always tell people, and I tell some of my members, if their son are interested or you are interested, don't come for the masterclass until you're ready. Just continue to watch, and if some of my things I make logic or not, then you want to consider learning. There are a lot more other Sifu which is 10 times better than me. Follow them too. All right. But have a winning system. If not, just get Robie, download it, and use it. Is good. So meanwhile, those of you who have not, do join our Telegram chat room for stock market information, and everything will be free for all that. So with that, I end my talk for tonight. Don't forget to join my coach Arif tomorrow at what time? This is a Trump Biden. This one here, not this one. Tomorrow at 9:30 for the momentum trading talk, another exciting where we get more technical. Today we talk about the global sense, and remember the 3 stocks we talk about. You all know which one? Right? J&J, which one? The other one, Merck and Sinopharma, and perhaps the other one for Malaysia is D Pharma plus Barrick Gold, for example. So with that, I bid you good night. Thank you for joining, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoy my time with you. Give me another thumbs up. I will work hard for you. Next Wednesday, I will do another topic, follow on Saturday for another topic, right, which I find it quite interesting, something more to share with you today, because I find these things will definitely help you going forward. With that, I'll see you on Friday morning for our breakfast show, Money Talk with SmartRobie. I see you tonight. Good night, and have a good holiday tomorrow. For those of you who know it's a public holiday, you'll be resting, I'll be resting, but Friday I'll be back. Bye-bye. Good night.